Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as tonight was the WWE NXT Heatwave event from Toronto, Canada. Now, as you can tell, this podcast is not being recorded live. Had some connection issues, buffering and whatnot. Internet was out, and then when it came back, it still wasn't super stable. So I decided, you know what? Just gonna record it. It's already midnight here, so just gonna record it and post it up as its own thing, because I'll be able to post it, but to go live, connection's not the greatest. He's going to be buffering a lot probably. So made the executive call. But with that, we're going to talk about NXT TakeOver. Not TakeOver. There ain't takeovers anymore. NXT Heatwave from Toronto, Canada. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought this was just a show. Great main event. I had a lot of fun watching the main event. I thought Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice was good, not great. And then the rest of the show, I kind of was a little bored with. So I haven't seen anybody else's real big reactions from the show or anything, but yeah. Overall, I thought the majority of the show was just no. I take that back. Obafemi and Wesley was a really good match as well. So really the middle part of the show, I was kind of just meh with. So we'll get into all that and everything. I did not see the pre-show, so I did not see the tag team match on the pre-show, but I do know that Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace did defeat JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, which is now leading to a Carmen Petrovic, Ariana Grace match on NXT this week to see who, the better woman actually is. But that, before we get into everything, I want to say thank you for joining us here, whether you're watching on, I guess you're only watching on YouTube, because this is only getting posted on YouTube, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by subscribing to the channel so you know when we post new videos, when we go live, and when we post to the community tab. You can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, whether you hit that join button and just subscribe at the $1 tier. We greatly appreciate it. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code, PWU Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting the free game, the Falconeer. Maybe you're pre-ordering Madden Madden 2025 or NCAA football, college football 2025. Use our code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. So as far as tonight's show does go, let me get to my notes here. There was a cold open. They ran down the show, and we did kick it off with the title match. The NXT North America, well, actually, they're all title matches. Anywho, NXT North American Championship on the line. Obafemi defending against Wes Lee. The stipulation of this match was that if Lee failed to defeat Obafemi, he could no longer challenge for the championship as long as Obafemi is the champion. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of them doing this 2 nights in a row because they did this with Seth Rollins and Damian Priest at Money in the Bank. So I'm like, they're doing the same goddamn thing here. But regardless, this is a really good match. There's going to be follow-up with this on Wednesday or Tuesday. They already said Wesley will, what's the word they used? Address his future on NXT this week. As far as the match does go, Lee started off with some kicks to Femi, but he got swept. Femi overpowered Lee and pushed him in the corner. Lee quickly reversed and tried to punch, but Femi got him in the corner. Femi continued to try Femi tried to fight back, but then Wesley got him with some more kicks, including a springboard kick. Femi then stopped the momentum of Lee by catching him as he hit him with a high right and sent Lee to the outside. Femi then used his impressive strength to spin Lee around with a modified version of an F10. Femi then threw Lee to the outside near the commentary table. He taunted Lee for a little bit right in front of Booker T as he threw Lee right into the uncovered ring apron. Lee then struggled to get back to his feet, but he did make it and get into the ring before the 10 count. Femi continued the assault, and Femi was a fierce house of fire here. He hit Wesley at one point with a big bad backbreaker. I say that 5 times fast. Big bad backbreaker. Big bad backbreaker. Nope, can't do that one. Can't do that. Anywho, we start to get dueling chances. The crowd's liking both of these guys. Let's go Wesley, Obafemi. Let's go Wesley, Obafemi. Lee got his back crushed by Obafemi's foot at one point, which was followed with a vicious strike to the head by Obafemi. Becca Lee remained the target of Femi for a little while here as he was trapped in a tree of woe position. Lee avoided a spear, which caused Femi to ram right into the ring post. Femi then attempted to throw Lee, but kind of just got sent to the outside on his own instead. On the apron, Lee got felled. I wrote that wrong. I wrote Lee got felled. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Lee got attacked with a hard and loud chop by Obafemi. Lee then found himself trapped back inside a stretch from Femi. They're fighting in the middle of the ring. Femi had control. Femi at one point taunted a kneeling Lee, but he paid for it with some kicks to the head and then got stunned for a moment. Lee followed this up with a series of kicks and punches that managed to leave Femi a little bit dazed. There was no DDT by Lee that got a very close near fall, though. Almost made me think, oh, dang, he almost won this. He's going to get this. Action was once again spilled to the outside with Lee hitting Femi with 2 consecutive suicide dives. Lee then hit a Meteora. Well, tried to, but Femi caught him. He turned it into a roll-up, though. Wes Lee back in the ring and caused a near fall. Fans really started to get hyped for this match here. Lee then connected with a Meteora to the back of the Obafemi, but this attempt at another diving move, a diving springboard forearm, was intercepted with a forearm from Obafemi instead. Lee then got pinned and barely kicked out of 2. Femi then hoisted Lee up on his shoulders as he ascended to the top rope. Lee escaped and tried a Hurricane Rana. Femi's powerbomb was turned into a modified Avalanche X Factor instead. Down in the ring, there's a cardiac kick by Lee, and Femi kicked out of 2. Lee's then frog splash was caught by a choke from Femi, but Lee turned it around, and the action headed outside yet again. A lot of working on the outside in this match. Like, we've seen these two fight before, so they're trying a lot of different things here. Lee tried for another cardiac kick, but his back kind of just gave out. Remember, there's the whole history there of bad back with Wes Lee. Another attempt was caught by Femi, who threw him upwards and dropped him on his back. He threw him high up in the air too, dadgummit. As we get closer to the finish of the match here, Femi finished off the match with a fall from Grace finisher, and that was it. Femi retained the title. You could say it was near dominant, but I feel like Wes Lee got a lot of offense here. So it's like, yeah, Obafemi dominated him, but don't take anything away from Wes Lee. Wes Lee got a lot of offense in this match as well. And now we go forward to Tuesday, and we got to figure out what's next for Wes Lee. Wes Lee now can no longer challenge for the North American Championship. What does that mean? Is he now going to go for the world title? Not the world title, but the NXT Championship? Is he maybe going to find a tag partner and go for the NXT Championship? We know that relationship with TNA is there. He said stuff about Rascals before, so maybe we get the Rascals back together maybe in WWE, or he goes to TNA and challenges for the tag titles there with the Rascals, maybe at Slammiversary. Just spitballing ideas. But this was a really good opener. Got the crowd hyped up. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't the first match the crowd saw because they saw that tag match. But, the crowd really did enjoy this match. Speaking of the North American Championship, the Women's North American Championship was also on the line as Kalani Jordan defended against Sol Ruca. Not a bad match. You could tell they've been practicing this one, though. You could really tell because it was all about the moves and the athletic spots for the most part in this match. It was all about hitting our spots, getting in our spot, doing our move. What's next? This is next. That's next. That's next. So it felt very choreographed, but I will say I'd watch this match again as far as like if they did it again. If they wanted to do a rematch, I'd watch it because they did work very well together. Ruca and Jordan made gestures of respect early on. Ruca at one point swept Jordan and locked her in a sleeper hold, but it was short-lived. An X Factor attempt by Ruca got reversed into a unique handstand reversal from Jordan, who followed this up with a splash for a 1 count. Ruca's second X Factor managed to hit the mark, though. So Ruca then locked Jordan in a surfboard stretch for a brief moment in the middle of the ring. Ruca and Jordan once again had an exchange of blows. Ruca got sent to the outside and was knocked down with a spinning vaulting press by Jordan. Jordan hit a step-up DDT for a near fall. Ruca created separation with a super kick on Jordan, followed by 2 consecutive springboard crossbodies. Ruca then leapt off the top rope with a 450 clothesline. I'm like, what did we just see? We've seen like AJ Styles 450 springboard and whatnot. This is a 450 clothesline. Yeah, crazy spot here. I've never seen a 450 into a clothesline. Crowd loved it. The announcers were like, what the hell did we just see? So yeah, Jordan kicks out at 2, and then she starts to take the advantage a little bit with the kick to the head of Ruka. She took her down with a poison Rana, then sent Ruka to the outside of the ring again, and I guess you'd call it poison Rana. Oh, no, actually, no. This ain't the one. This ain't the one that I'm thinking of. There was one off the top rope or middle rope. They call it the poison Rana. It ain't a poison Rana. Poison Rana, you're landing on your head. And all of these, really, they didn't land on their head. So Ruka over-rotated. She, for the most part, always took a flat face bump. And it's like, no. Poison Rana is supposed to look like you're planting your opponent head first into the mat. And none of these poison Ranas, to me, really looked like that. Especially the last one they did from the top rope. Anywho, where was I? Jordan kept the foot on the gas and gave a moonsault to Ruka on the outside. Ruka recovered and took Jordan out with a diving move of her own. Both women then struggled to make it back into the ring, but barely did by the 10 count. Ruka and Jordan had another exchange in the middle of the ring of pin attempts, and they kept kicking out. One point in a fight to the top rope ended with Ruka sending... when Ruka was sent down, as Jordan had her in a position for a 450 splash, Ruka then got her knees up to block it. Ruka tried a soul snatcher, but Jordan reversed it with a near fall. Jordan's poison Rana got blocked and turned into a reverse Alabama slam into the turnbuckle by Ruka. As Ruka tried for an avalanche move off the top, Jordan finally got that avalanche poison Rana. And I said, that's what I'm talking about with the whole, it looked cool, but it wasn't a poison Rana. I mean, I guess it's a reverse Hurricane Rana, so you call it poison Rana. Again, a poison Rana, you're getting dumped right on top of your head. This wasn't that. This was Ruka hitting a perfect, basically moonsault that no one was there for and just flat right on the mat. Where was this? She would then, Jordan that is, follow this up with a split-legged moonsault and pin Ruka to retain the Women's North American Championship. The two would embrace afterwards as well. Lonnie Jordan is still a champion. Like, not a bad match, but like I said, to me, I never fully got in it because you can tell how rehearsed this match was, how practiced this match was, how choreographed this match actually was. Also, so many goddamn filler commercials and videos and this and they're like, why do we need random Twitter videos from Gallus? Why do we need a bunch of Tony D'Angelo, not a bunch of, but a long Tony D'Angelo video? It's not like he's a new guy that we got to learn about. We've known about Tony D'Angelo for a while. So it's like, why do you got to reintroduce us to Tony D'Angelo? Why do you got to keep us knowing about Tony D? We know who Tony D, Stacks, and the rest of them are. So yeah, that was my one thing. It was like anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes between these matches. And from when the longest one that I counted was when the Roxanne Perez Lola Vice match ended to when the bell rang for the main event, the 4-way for the NXT title, 27 minutes. So they gave us a recap of the kickoff match. This is where we got the announcement of Carmen Petrovic versus Ariana Grace on Tuesday. Ava made that match official. Basically, Ariana Grace kept saying, I'm better. I'm the better competitor. Petrovic was like, well, I got the pin in the match. And Grace was like, yeah, well, I'm better than you anyways. And then Ava's like, you want to prove it, or are you guys going to fight on Tuesday? And Ariana Grace here, the whole time is talking about how I'm better than you. I could beat you in this and that, blah, blah, blah. And so when the match gets made, she's like, excuse me, Ava, how can you put tag team partners against each other? And Ava looks at her like, is that what you wanted? Whatever. So kind of funny. Ariana Grace, perfect. Great comedy. She's a spit off the old block, as they say, like her father, Santino Marella. Anthony, for Corelli, I think is his last name. Anthony Corelli. Yeah, no. She for sure is the female version of him as far as her comedic timing, not being afraid to make herself look goofy and weird and dumb and stupid and silly. So yeah. Moving forward, the NXT Tag Team Championships were on the line when Axiom and Nathan Frazier defended against Chase U. Now, again, I didn't see the pre-show, but I guess there was a long-standing little deal on the pre-show where Nathan Frazier wasn't at the building. Nathan Frazier was nowhere to be found, and then eventually shows up last minute. Axiom's all kind of upset with him and whatnot because, you know, hey, we're supposed to strategize before our match and this and that. And so commentary's like, can they get on the same page after, you know, the troubles they had today? And I was like, yeah, they were fine. They were fine. Axiom and Chase started things off for their teams. The masked Axiom had Chase trapped in a head hold as he had the clear advantage for a little while there. Chase did escape, and things seemed to kind of hit a impasse and it like stalled out for a second, I would say. There was an arm drag and a drop kick by Axiom. They got a 1 count off of Andre Chase. Chase reversed the pin, and Axiom actually was down for a 2, which was very weird because it's like Chase did nothing to Axiom. Well, actually, Axiom was beating up on Chase, kicks out at 1. He catches Axiom, and he kicks out at 2. Axiom barely taking, if any, damage here. So it's like him kicking out at 1 and then Axiom kicking out at 2, just it story-wise and like psychology-wise, made absolutely no sense to me. Frazier finally tagged himself in, but found himself the victim of consecutive arm drags by Chase. Frazier then fought back with a kick to the head as Hudson tagged himself in. Duke caught Frazier and threw him with an overhead belly-to-belly toss. He continued to work Frazier over as Chase U had the momentum on their side this time. Axiom finally got tagged back in and took the advantage as he worked Chase over with a clothesline, who also tagged back in. Axiom and Frazier nailed Chase with a double-team super kick for a near fall. Frazier then attempted a springboard dive with which was intercepted by Chase's neckbreaker. With both men down, Frazier was able to make it to his corner. Axiom then stopped Chase from tagging out. Axiom then kept Chase grounded with a leg lock submission right in the middle of the ring. Chase escaped by sending Axiom to his own corner, which allowed him to tag in Hudson. Hudson then launched his offense on both Axiom and Frazier, and he was able to keep them both down for a while. There's a gut buster on Frazier by Hudson. They got a near fall. Frazier then used his speed to kick Hudson to the outside. His attempted dive was stopped by at the pass by Hudson, who hit a cool-looking German suplex. Frazier avoided a razor's edge attempt at one point by Hudson as Axiom found himself back in the match. The NXT Tag Team Champions then unleashed some offense as they hit suicide dives to the outside on all members of Chase U. With Hudson isolated, Axiom and Frazier bombarded Hudson with consecutive splashes and got a 2 count off of it. Frazier attempted a top rope move, but was foiled by Hudson. Paying tribute to Toronto's own Trish Stratus with some stratisfaction. Got a 2 off of it. Frazier then floored Hudson with a missile dropkick as Axiom tagged himself in. Axiom slammed Hudson with a Spanish fly as Frazier followed this up with a Phoenix Splash. Chase stopped the 2 count by stepping on Frazier and hitting Axiom with a Canadian Destroyer. Axiom then found himself with an accidental super kick by Frazier. Chase then rolled him up, but Axiom managed to kick out at 2. Outside the ring, Hudson got drop kicked again on the stairs by Frazier. Back in the ring, Chase got the CHASE stomp on Axiom. Frazier with the last-minute saved his partner after a Chase crossbody on Axiom. Get down to the finish of the match here. Frazier took Chase out with a superplex, and then there was a dive to the outside that took out Duke as well. Axiom, meanwhile, capped off the match with a golden ratio kick and had Chase down for the 1-2-3 to retain the Tag Team Championships. So there we go. Axiom and Frazier retain the NXT Tag Team Championships, and no clue what's next for them. I guess maybe Gallus. It's kind of who they're pushing right now, it seems like. We got a couple tag matches on Tuesday as well, so maybe they build something up with those. I think it is. Let me pull this up right here. On Tuesday, it will be... There's 2 tag matches. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson against OTM, and then Gallus against DuPont and Igwe. So maybe like the winners of those matches can then face off and become number 1 contenders. I don't know, but they were pushing Gallus a lot, like especially playing the Gallus video tonight and this and that. So I think maybe Gallus could be next in line. Moving forward, we got remarks from Wes Lee about his loss to Obafemi. He talked about how tonight was supposed to be the culmination, and he was going to regain the North American Championship, but he failed. Lee was at a loss of words and then kind of just left. Said, I got things I need to think about. And he needs some time to think. There's a Josh Briggs video, followed by one that focused on Carly Bright, and then another on Dante Chen. And it's like, come on, what, huh? Wasting of time. Waste of time. It wasn't a waste of time. It was the announcement that the Great American Bash is coming back. We're getting the Great American Bash on Tuesday, August 6th. The show will not be airing on the USA Network because of the Olympics. Instead, it'll air on Sci-Fi. So that is something that was announced tonight. Great American Bash is coming back on Tuesday, August 6th. So keep an eye out for that. No clue on what the big matches will be, who's going to defend what, and who's going to challenge who. But yeah, Great American Bash in August is weird, but I guess it's tie-in with the Olympics, so America and this and that. And yeah, usually they do Great American Bash around this time, 4th of July. But they're doing it in August, I guess, as an Olympics tie-in. So, go. See what they do. Special episode on a Tuesday night. One of the final episodes with NBC Universal for NXT 2, because on October 1st, they're moving to CW. So that's like a month and a half-ish, 2 months-ish before the move. So, yeah. Moving forward, we had the NXT Women's Championship on the line. It was Roxanne Perez versus Lola Vice. And I thought this match was good. I wouldn't call it great or anything. And I still got that qualm of why is Lola Vice dancing in the middle of her matches? And I get it. Some people are going to say, well, that was her thing in MMA. She would shake her booty in MMA. Not during the fight. When she would be called the winner afterwards, yes, they would say, your winner, I don't know her real name, but Lola Vice, whatever, and then she'd shake the booty. Not in the middle of a fight. So when she's like, got Roxanne in the corner ready to go for the freaking, what is it called? I don't even know the name of it. It's Toni Storm's move where she bops you at the butt. All the Samoans do it. Where it's a corner splash but with the butt. She has to stand there, wiggle, pop the hip, and then do it. I'm like, so stupid, so dumb. Now, I do have to say, though, every time I see Lola Vice, I feel like she gets better. Every single time I see her in the ring, I go, oh, that looks better than I saw her do it last time. Or, oh, that was new. I've never seen Lola Vice do that. So that is the one thing I will say. Roxanne Perez, freaking amazing. They call it a prodigy for a reason. But Lola Vice, you can see the improvement and the progression. So the two, Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice, locked up early on before a slap in the corner broke things up. Vice then took Perez down with a shoulder block. Then she tried to go for an armbar, but Perez fought out. Vice had the advantage with a knee strike at one point on Perez, followed by a throw. Perez avoided Vice's back fist by rolling out of the ring. Perez then regained control by sending Vice into the middle turnbuckle. She then choked Vice with her foot along the bottom rope. Vice recovered and fought back with some strikes of her own. Perez regained momentum by pulling at Vice's hair. Perez then took Vice down with a Russian leg sweep for a 2. Vice once again then tried to take the advantage, but she rocked Perez with some kicks and knees to keep the NXT Women's Champion grounded. Perez continued to target Lola Vice. Kept targeting the midsection a lot too, which is weird. I don't know if they've been playing that up on TV or anything, but she tried to go for it again, but was trapped in a sleeper hold as Perez rolled to the outside to avoid tapping out. Perez then dodged a back fist attempt at one point by Vice, which caused the challenger's arm to hit the ring post, and so she sold a potential broken arm, broken wrist for the remainder of this match. This gave Perez a new target to go after. Vice at one point was kept grounded by a back fist from Perez, but she avoided a moonsault and caught Perez in a head scissor submission. Vice finally hit Perez with the back fist, using the hurt hand, which sent the champion outside of the ring. There was a pin attempt that was broken up by Perez putting her foot on the bottom ropes at one point. Perez then sent Vice shoulder first into the ring post to keep her stunned. There was a Pop Rocks attempt that was reversed by Vice, who was shelled with some strikes. There was another attempt at a Pop Rocks from Perez, which actually connected, but Vice managed to kick out at 2. An angered Perez swept aside the commentary table And then she went for a Pop Rocks on the commentary table. Vice got rolled back into the ring and then just got pinned. What we thought. But she kicked out yet again. She looked down, dead, and out. But nope, she kicked out. Perez then locked in the crossface, but Vice escaped it. This angered Roxanne even more, even further, to where she hit 3 consecutive Pop Rocks on Vice and then pinned her clean in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. So, I don't know what's next for Roxanne Perez right now. I mean, we've been hearing Julia supposed to be wrestling her this weekend. Nope. I don't think Julia's coming anytime soon. Sometime this year, but not anytime soon. So we'll see who they build up next. It was like they were building up Lola Vice, but I really didn't notice anybody else really being built up for that top challenger spot. So yeah, not a bad match. I thought these two worked very well together, but it was a good match, not a great match. I will say that. Again, another match to where you can tell certain spots had been practiced and rehearsed. Not in the Kalani Jordan Sol Ruka sense of you could tell the whole thing was practiced over and over. This one, there were certain things that they were practicing and they were trying and this and that you could tell. But you could tell, not the whole... I mean, the whole match was probably practiced and rehearsed, but it didn't seem as bad as the Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka match. So we got a clip of Shawn Michaels addressing the recent behavior of Brooks Jensen. He said he has invited Brooks Jensen to NXT this week to speak with GM Ava on Tuesday's show to discuss, what's going to happen next in his future with NXT. Got Alexis King clip. He challenged Tony D'Angelo for the Heritage Cup. And then we got a long response from Tony D, and then a bunch of other stuff, and then things announced. And then we finally got to our main event. Again, like I stated, between the Roxanne match ending and the main event starting, ding, 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 27 minutes. We don't need that much time. So it was Trick Williams defending the NXT Championship against Javon Evans, Shawn Spears, and Ethan Page. And boy, was Ethan Page great as far as his entrance does go. Ethan Page from Canada walks out wearing red, white, and blue. And on the back of his ring jacket, it says, Resident of the USA. God, that's great. Such a troll. He's always done the troll thing very well. It got a huge reaction from the crowd. And then Trick came out. He wore some white gear with flames on it. And Booker goes, wait, look at his gear. That's Harlem Heat inspired. Yeah. Freaking Booker. Love-hate relationship with Booker. Sometimes the stuff that he does and the way he says it gets a little annoying, but at the same time, it's so entertaining. So freaking entertaining. So early on, Page just leaves the ring, but then got crushed by Evans with a suicide dive. Inside the ring, Williams and Spears mixed things up until the NXT champion was sent to the outside. Two Canadians then took turns slamming Evans and Williams against the steps before they stared down each other in the ring. They took each other out with simultaneous thumbs to the eyes as Evans and Williams re-entered the match and took Spears and Page out. Williams and Evans then slapped hands and respected the whole got a little handshake kind of thing. Weird, whatever. And then Evans eventually just popped them. Evans hits an impressive springboard Hurricane Rana on Williams as well, followed by a roll-up for a 2. Williams slammed Evans with a scoop slam, and he then hit him with a drop kick as well. Williams avoided a Spears headshot, and he kept the two Canadians at bay with side kicks and two of them both with two sides. It was weird. They had them both up, the side slams, and this and that. Yeah. Evans rejoined the match with the crossbody that flattened both Spears and Page. Spears sent Williams to the outside, but he got caught with the body of Evans as he was being suplexed by Page. The action was then fast and furious at this point. Page at one point was hit a power slam on Evans for a 2. Everyone saved this. Wait, give me 1 second. I wrote this weird. Evans then threw Spears away, and Williams caught Evans as we saw a combo Doomsday device on Evans and a simultaneous DDT on Spears as they were trying to go for the Tower of Doom thing. Then there was a double pin attempt with Williams and Page, and they only got 2. Page and Williams then fought it off, and they were interrupted by Spears cracking the ladder. Williams with a steel chair, and commentary tells us, hey, 4-way, no DQ. Then Javon Evans comes flying off the ropes. He does like a springboard off the middle rope, like he's going to go for like a Cody Cutter, Os Cutter kind of thing. And Spears, just as hard as he can, boom, cracks Javon Evans in the back with the chair, and he just crumbles. Planted Williams with a C4 on the chair as well, and only got a 2 off of it. All 4 men ended up on the mat after a brief super kick exchange. The fans started chanting, "This is awesome," as the action kept going. Outside the ring, Williams cleared the commentary table, but he got thrown into the post by Page. He escaped an Eagle's Edge attempt, but got sent through the barricade by Evans, who leapt over the ring post on top with the Tompe con heel. Back in the ring, Spears hit an avalanche C4 on Evans as Page ran in and threw him out of the ring. Evans just kicked out at 2 for the dramatic near fall, like the close 2. Like the Damian Priest didn't kick out 2. That close. Page then climbed up top to the top rope, but Spears met him with a press. Evans then recovered and sent Williams and Spears out of the ring. Evans ran up with an exploder avalanche Spanish fly, followed by his own springboard cutter. Williams then broke up Evans' pin attempt at the last second. After an exchange of words, Williams and Evans then fought one-on-one, took each other down with double kicks. Spears then grabbed Evans and looked towards somewhere. I don't know what he was looking at. Evans then countered and caught him with a cutter, followed by a splash on the opposite end. Williams then broke up the pin. Evans attempted a springboard and was stopped by Williams, who pushed him away and sent him flying into the commentary table. Williams then seemed to be remorseful. Spears avoided a trick shot knee at one point and locked in the NXT champion in a sharpshooter. Page then kicked Spears away and connected with the Eagle's Edge on Williams. Evans then managed to crawl to his feet in the ring and put Williams on his feet put one of his feet on the bottom rope to break the pin. Then, very interesting here. Very weird and interesting. Finish saw Williams hit the trick knee on Page, but he fell on an unconscious Evans for the pin as Spears held Williams. So, held Williams on the outside. We got a new NXT champion. So let me break this down. I didn't write it correctly. So I wrote it correctly, but I need to explain this more. This was kind of weird. So Javon had been taken down. He's laid out in the middle of the ring. Trick then hits Page with a knee. Page falls on Javon. Trick also falls out of the ring. The ref sees this. Page is laying like this on top of Evans. So the ref counts 1. As he's going down for the 2, Trick goes to jump in the ring. But for some weird reason, Shawn Spears grabs his leg, pulls him, and holds him outside the ring. Like halfway in, halfway out. 2, 3, new NXT champion, All Ego Ethan Page. So my question here is, why did Shawn Spears help Page win instead of letting Trick break up the pin to keep the match going so he could potentially become the champion? I don't understand this. I don't get this. I don't know what's going on. Are we now getting a partnership between Spears and Page? I mean, they fought each other during the match pretty good, so I'm confused by the finish here. Great putting the title on Page. I love that. And so we're here. Page's got the belt. He's holding it up. And at the last second, as the pay-per-view is about to go off the air, we see a flash of white and Joe Hendry's face appear. Video, not Joe Hendry there, though. And then the show goes off the air. Great main event. I thought these 4 men killed it. Probably, this main event was probably better than anything at Money in the Bank. Just going to say it. Probably the best match. I don't know if I can say best match of the weekend if you count SmackDown. Because that tag title match with Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and DIY was fantastic. So if I'm counting SmackDown as part of the weekend, I would probably say this was, in my opinion, my second favorite match of the weekend. This main event 4-way. I thought these 4 guys worked so well together. Great main event. Their spots, no one. So a lot of times in main event, or in 4-ways, not just main events, but in 4-ways, you can see people like their spots and maybe this is a thing of they worked it out beforehand a lot and stuff because it's NXT, but a lot of times people's spots are going to overlap and they're going to step on each other's toes when they're doing certain things and this and that. This one, people let stuff breathe. They let people have their moment to shine. They did things together. They did things apart. And so, yeah, I thought these 4 worked very well together. And Trick's going to want a rematch. We know that. Trick's going to want to go back after Ethan Page to get the title back. But the question is, why did Shawn Spears help Page win instead of letting Trick take the jump in the ring and break the pin to keep the match going? That I don't understand, so we'll have to wait till Tuesday to see if they even explain that. Also, what the hell's the Joe Hendry thing? Why is the last thing we see on the show Joe Hendry? Huh? Is Joe Hendry coming after Ethan Page? Does he want to go after All Ego on the NXT Championship? I don't know. We're going to have to believe in Joe Hendry. But with that, guys, that is everything that did take place tonight at NXT Heatwave in Toronto, Canada. Overall, I thought it was a good show. If I'm going to rate the show out of 5, I would probably give it a 4. There were some things on the show that I didn't really care about, like the tag title match and the Women's North American Championship match. But out of the 5 matches that I saw, because again, I didn't see the pre-show, but out of the 5 matches I saw, 3 of the 5 were good. Like I said, the middle, I didn't really care much for. Got a little bored with. So with that, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of tonight's NXT TakeOver, or not. I keep wanting to say TakeOver because it's just so ingrained in my head. NXT Heatwave from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada. Again, I do want to apologize for not doing this live, but we'll be live tonight, tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, for Monday Night Raw, as long as everything is working properly. So with that, guys, have a great time, have a great night, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.